All right, y'all, what's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is when you watch the video. Just make it apply. Remember, divination is confirmation. Only take what resonates. don't don't be taking messages that you know that doesn't resonate with your spirit. Spirit is always going to give you um confirmation. Spirit is always going to give you that initial dream, synchronicity, download, inner knowingness. You're always going to get that before it is confirmed, externally. Um, Man, I know somebody hit me up the other day talking about Ebo. I know at first I was gonna do something different to try to make it a little bit to make it a little bit cheaper, but I was like, nah, I'm just gonna do regular Ebo. It's too last minute. It's too last minute to try to do something, different. At first I just wanted to, really encourage people to, do Ebo so that you can experience the importance of doing Ebo. But I was like, you know what? It's too last minute. I need to do the same thing that I've been doing, every other year, and so I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it a different way. And so it's just regular Ebo. You can go to my website, sign up for Ebo. Ebo is very important. It's one of the things that we're supposed to be doing every single month. Your experience with the Orishas, it depends on you. It really depends on you. You have some people that work with the Orishas and have really good success. You have other people that work with the Orishas and they go back to Christianity. And it's all because, you can't expect to go into any spiritual path and just do your own things. There are ways that things need to be done. We need to understand how to properly build our altars. We need to understand the difference between offering and Ebo. We need to understand the things that we need to be doing on a monthly basis. You know, um, we need to be doing readings to see what's in our energy. We need to be doing cleansings in order to cleanse our energy. We need to be doing Ebo, which is a ceremonial offering to the Orishas. We need to make sure that we're cleansing ourselves and doing spiritual bath and floor washes on a monthly basis. We need to make sure that we're doing incense in our house. Like it's a lot of things that once you get into that routine, it's really simple. The beginning is the hardest part, but once you get into that routine, it's nothing like it. And every Orisha is different. So that's the thing that we need to learn. I don't want to harp too much on it because I already talked about it in previous videos, and I definitely don't want to do another 30 minutes going on Ebo and things like that. It's one of those things. It's either you're going to do it or you're not. You determine your success on this spiritual path. Um, the next thing is healing crystals. Make sure you get your healing crystals from Otter Spirit. I have my green jade, bringing in money. I have my rose quartz, bringing in love. You can go to Amazon, or you can go to writersrepublic.com in order to order my 3 books. You have the first book, which is the I guess I was like, do I want to show them? I got my cards and stuff on top of them. You can get my first book, which is The Emerging Butterfly. It's talking about a spiritual awakening. It's going to give you the information you need in order to go through a spiritual awakening. You have my second book, which is Connecting with the Ancestors, teaching you how to build your ancestor altar and simple rituals you can start doing on your ancestor altar. And then you have the 30-day journey with the Orishas, which is going over some of the painted keys so that you can start understanding the Orishas more. You can get a deeper understanding of who they are and how to work with these deities. That's the most important thing. Um, Last thing before we get into the actual reading is that, guys, we really need to understand the importance and the magnitude of our emotions. Our emotions are very powerful, and even though emotions are very subjective, emotions are very powerful and they can do a lot of things. One of the things that I was hitting on yesterday is the importance of healing. And a lot of people think that they're out of this phase of healing, but sometimes, depending on what it is that you went through, it is a life journey. So Healing is one of those things that's very important. And when it comes to a Gemini, because I'm a Gemini, we are going to hit a point in so many different ways to make sure you get it. We can explain things 98 different ways and hoping that one of those 98 ways is going to hit home with you and you're going to understand it and you're going to get it. You know, there are there's two significant points in my life where healing was crucial. And the first was childhood, with all of the things that I went through in childhood, and then the second would have been my divorce. Those were the two major critical points that I need to heal. And in both of those, emotions was high, going through all of the stages of grief and, the whole nine yards. And so, number one is, like, people, when they are carrying around trauma, a lot of people swear up and down that it's witchcraft because it feels very similar. Just like witchcraft has the power to manipulate and control things in your life, the same goes with trauma. Trauma can manipulate and control a lot of things in your life, and it has the ability to stop blessings from coming in. And that is the reason why we heal. You know, Healing is not for the benefit of the other person, although they do benefit when you finally let that energy go. Because when you are letting that energy go, it benefits them because you're no longer holding this grudge. You're no longer allowing their power to influence your life, all of the baggage that they left there. And the most important thing is that it benefits you. It releases you so that you can let go of all of this shit and you can move on. When we are not healed, we can take away so many different opportunities. We can take away opportunities from employment. We can take away opportunities from love. And so that's another important thing of why we need to properly heal. If you were in, any type of, abusive relationship in any form, whether it was verbal or whether it was physical, carrying that trauma can easily manifest into not listening to supervisors and managers. And now you can never keep a job because you're always getting fired. You know, Being in a relationship is the same thing that's abusive, whether it's verbally or whether it's physically, it can manifest to you not trusting partners. And, you are bound to be single for the rest of your life until you release it. We have to understand that when we go through things, yeah, it was one person that did this, but that one person is not the representation of everybody on this earth, nor is it the representation of everybody that is going to come across your path. But as long as you are holding on to that trauma, then it is true. As long as you are holding on to that trauma, spirits tend to go to like spirits. And so if you are holding on to the abuse and the neglect, you only manifest other people that will bring you more abuse and more neglect. If you are holding on to abandonment issues, you will always attract people that will abandon you. It's not until you completely let these things go that you start attracting something different. The spirit that is inside of you, let's put it like that. The spirit that is inside of you is the spirit that manifests. And so if the spirit inside of you is hurt, it manifests hurt things. If the spirit that's inside of you is in survival mode, it only manifests things in survival mode. If the spirit inside of you is abandoned, then it only manifests abandonment. It's the same thing when I tell you, don't manifest from desperation. But if you are in that spirit, that is the only thing you will be manifesting from. And so we need to be careful, with those things. When you truly healed, number one, you completely give it up. It stopped being the main thing that you talk about, and it stopped being the main thing that consumes your mind. When I finally, graduated high school and I went into the Navy, I was so hurt because of everything that happened in childhood. And every time when I would, get around people and stuff like that, that was the one thing I was keep repeating. I was keep repeating what happened to me, keep repeating what happened to me. I was a broken record. And then I got into my first relationship in the military, and I drove the person that I was dating crazy. And at the time, I thought that the person was just being too harsh because they got to the point where they're like, "Look, I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing this story. I'm tired of it repeating. I don't want to hear it no more. It changed so much in you. Because of this, you don't do this. Because of this, you don't do that. Because of this, you don't truly let me in, and the whole 9 yards." And eventually, that relationship ended up ending. But it was that moment that made me say, you know what? I'm not healed, and I need to work on this before I get into another relationship. And I had to purposely tell myself, like, look, number one, we're not going to talk about this every single day. It's time to release it. It's time to give it up. It's time to start, looking at this as in a different perspective, in a different light. And it wasn't until I start looking at it in a different light that I was able to release it and let it go. But the entire time that I carried that trauma, it destroyed so much stuff. It destroyed friendships. It destroyed relationships. And so those are things that you have to look at in your life. And anyone that reminded me of any of the main players in my childhood, it automatically brought that trauma back up. Here goes a lighter. It automatically brought that trauma back up where I started, once again, lashing out, being in survival mode, throwing up defense mechanisms and everything else because they triggered something in me. When you are still being triggered, it means that you are not fully healed. You haven't let it go yet. But now I'm at a point where any of those things from childhood, it can be brought up. You can come in the same way that any of those main character did, and it don't move me any type of way. It doesn't change my emotions. It doesn't change my mood. It doesn't affect me in any way. You can say whatever, you can do whatever, and it doesn't affect me anymore like it used to. That is when you know you have completely healed from that. But when you are retelling that story and it is filled with so much emotion and so much tears, and it's like you are back in the process once again of being abandoned, being neglected, being abused, that it's like your body is once again reliving every moment as if you are back in that specific moment. That means you are not healed. And especially when we are still bracing and preparing ourselves, um, as if it's coming back, that means you are not healed. We got to learn how to let these things go because these are the things that stop our blessings. They will hinder so much stuff in your life. Spirit cannot put you in higher positions depending on what trauma that you are carrying. Spirit cannot put you in your anointing depending on what type of trauma you are carrying. And so we got to learn how to release and let go. We got to let go of these things. What happened to you is unfortunate. I will be the one to apologize. I am sorry that you had to go through what it is that you had to go through. But can we now please release it and let it go. Yes, that nigga was wrong. He should have never touched you. He should have never abandoned you. They should have never did spell work on you. They should have never jumped you. They should have never did any of the things that they did in your life. But at the end of the day, it's time to let it go. You cannot allow negative energy to consume you and think that you will be in a position to manifest a better life. You gotta be able to let go of the past. What happened, happened. I'm not telling you to forget about it. I'm not telling you to pretend that it never happened. But what I'm telling you is to release the power that you are giving it. When in the beginning of my relationships, the only thing that I would attract is Aries. That was the only sign, and I didn't even know it. I didn't pick up on it until the last relationship. And I was sitting back one day when I got into an argument with my partner, and I'm like, wait a minute, you know, why is this person so similar to everybody else that I've dated? And that was the thing that, made me sit down and go on a journey. And I start, remembering like, wait a minute, this person birthday was this, this person birthday was that, this person birthday was this. And I looked it up and I'm like, okay, everybody that I've dated has been an Aries. And I'm like, I'm always going through the same similar problem in every relationship. And then I looked and I'm like, my mom is an Aries, my dad is an Aries. And it's like I'm carrying trauma from childhood. And because of the spirit inside of me, I'm keep manifesting the very thing that I hated. The very thing that I hated was the thing that I was keep manifesting and keep circling back in my life every single fucking relationship because I could not let go of all of the trauma that happened in childhood. But it was the moment that I finally let it go that I start attracting something completely different. I start actually having a chance to be in a relationship without going through past problems. So we gotta learn how to let go. Healing is, one of those things that's important. Healing is a topic that, should be talked about for hours. But that is one of the things that y'all are not trying to hear. A lot of people is not trying to hear a whole, podcast or video on healing, but it's very important. You got to learn how to let go. You know, again, I would say it again for, all my subscribers, for all those that will, listen to this video, is that, I apologize for everything that has happened to you in your life. I apologize for all of the negative. I apologize for all of the bad. It's unfortunate that you had to go through this. I sympathize with you. I give you a virtual hug. I give you a virtual kiss. You know, I give you, sympathy. I give you compassion. I give you mercy. But it's like now, let's decide to let it go. We gotta let it go. You know, we gotta let go of the things that happened to us. It happened, and it's time to move forward. Stop letting it control your day to day. Stop allowing it to stop your blessings. Thank you, Igun. Thank you, Spirit Guides. Thank you, Ancestors. Thank you, Sarabanda. Thank you, Risha. Thank you, Yeshua. Thank you, Oda Dumare. Thank you, Oda Rune. Thank you, Oda Fi. Ashe, 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 Ashe. Ashe. All right, let's see what's in the cards. Let's see what is in the cards. We are getting ready to go into the new year, which is a good time to set, New Year's resolution. And I know some people try to be as difficult as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody left a comment, oh, I can't believe, spiritual people are being fooled and, celebrating the fake New Year. Listen, bitch. At the end of the day, we know that January is not the new year. But if this is the day that the world is saying this is the day that we're going to celebrate as the new year, then you should do both. You should do the ceremonies at what the common people celebrate as New Year, and then again in March when we actually acknowledge the New Year. Both of those times should be celebrated. The New Year is technically when we are getting out of winter and into spring. Spring is normally the new year. It is where life is brought back to the world. It's the winter that kills everything. The cold strip everything away. It keeps you indoors in the whole 9 yards. And people have challenged that for years, saying this could not be the birth of Jesus, and the whole 9 yards. But at the end of the day, most spiritual people celebrate the new year in March. And it makes sense. Is that why would we celebrate in a time of brutal weather? You would celebrate in the season where it represents life, where everything is growing again, everything is forming again, and so we don't have to be technical on every fucking thing. Celebrate them both. Celebrate the most common day of what people celebrate and do rituals to bring in good energy, and then celebrate the day that you recognize as the actual new year. We don't have to be ignorant ass little bitches in the comments. We don't. Let's use some common sense and wisdom. What is in the card, Spirit? What is in the card? What is in the card? What is in the card, Spirit? What is in the card, Spirit? Oh, wow. This is a very powerful reading. I never had a reading like this before, where almost every last one of the love cards is coming out. Like all the love cards are coming out. This is a firm yes. Let me see what the outcome's gonna be first. Because I was like, okay, this can't be. Like, come on. This can't be. The way it's falling, I'm like, what is in the card, Spirit? What is in the card, Spirit? What is in the card, Spirit? What is in the card? Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Cups, and then you got the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Resting and retreating is a giving up energy. It's giving in. Somebody is ready for renewal now. This is someone going through some type of solitude. I mean, this is a really good reading. It's just like divination with the Orishas, that you have a yes, you have a firm yes, you have you have a no, and then you have a hell fucking no. You know, um, and so it's the same way that, when I look at this, this is a firm yes. This is a relationship that is definitely, it looked like it's coming together. um, there's nothing here that talks about this being a past connection, and so I'm not going to focus on a past connection unless some come out and direct me to that way. But the overall energy, we're starting off with the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is all about a love connection. Two of Cups is union. It's two people coming together. Two people are giving each other their cups of love. And to clarify it is extremely beautiful. You have the Lovers, and the Lovers is an even stronger card. This is a major arcana. You know, the Lovers is, some people see it as the twin flame card, and some people see it as just a divine union. But regardless, this is a connection that is going to be blessed. This is a connection that is, definitely, I would say, blessed by the Most High, with both the Two of Cups and the Lovers being here. This is going to end up being a very strong connection. Um, these are going to be two people. I mean, and, to me, with this combination, this is going to be something that might be rapid. That's the one thing that I'm getting with the Two of Cups, and then the clarifier is the Lovers. This is something that may end up being very rapid. This is someone that could really meet their soulmate. They really meet their, twin flame, that they're meeting someone that's on the same page as them, that you guys are in the same phase of life, that you're both looking for the same thing, that you're both looking for serious relationships. You don't have time for the fucks anymore. You don't have time for the one night stands. And, because of that, this is something that can move very rapid, where this could be two people coming together, 1 month, and then 3 months down the line, you're already engaged. And by the end of the year, you're married. This is going to end up being a rapid thing, because with the Two of Cups and the Lovers being here, these are people that know what they want. These are two people that know exactly what it is that they want. It's no playing in this. This is, it's like, look, baby, we know exactly what it is that we want in this motherfucker. The overall energy is very solid, and it's saying that, this love connection, it really is a firm yes. Um, Two people on the same page. You have, as the crossing energy, you have the Nine of Swords. There's some anxiety here. Someone is under a lot of anxiety, trying to figure out, like, will I have love? Will love come back to me? This is someone that you have allowed your emotions to get the best of you. You have allowed your emotions to get the best of you, where it's like some nights you don't sleep. You could be staying up some nights, insomnia. That's what the Nine of Swords represents. You could be going into depression, anxiety, having all different types of nightmares, trying to figure out if love is going to come. But you have, as the clarifier, you have the Nine of Cups, with the 10 of cups. And so the 9 of cups is a wish fulfilled. And the 10 of cups is once again going into a divine love, is going into harmony, is going into what it is that you want. The 9 of cups is saying this is your wish, and the 10 of cups is saying that your wish is granted. You know, and so this is beautiful. Someone is getting ready to go into complete alignment and go into a very blessed relationship. But there's a lot of anxiety where this is somebody that probably don't see it coming. And then of course it's just like what I said in the pre-message, is that we got to understand that our emotions are very powerful. Our emotions can be so powerful that it gives us dreams. Dreams are supposed to be the subconscious talking to the conscious, so that we can get downloads and understand what spirit is seeing and how spirit is viewing our situation. But sometimes our emotions can be so high and so rampant that the dream is not coming from the subconscious. The dream is coming from our emotions. And once again, this is how we interpret things, and this is how we see things. And so, when you allow your emotions to be this hyped and ramped, that you're in a lot of anxiety, worries, fears, depression, you can create nightmares in your dreams. And not only can you create nightmares in your dreams, but because you are in all of this anxiety and everything, you now create a cloud that you can't see what's coming. You can't see what's coming. You can't see that the 9 of cups is present in your energy, and you can't see that the 10 of cups is present in your energy. Now, the dangerous thing about this is that the longer we stay in this energy, now the 2 of cups and the lovers can be present in our energy. And because we're so clouded, we don't even see it. And that is the importance of getting out of this anxiety. You got to learn how to calm your mind. You got to learn, at the end of the day, you got to learn how to get to a point where, it's just like what we said with releasing, all of this negative energy and going into a place of healing. We need to come to a place of calmness in everything that we do, where when we asked, we need to be in a state of expecting now. And a lot of people is not in that state. Sometimes people ask for what it is that they want, and instead of expecting for it to come, you're doing the same ritual every single day. Every single day, you're doing the same ritual. Every single day, you're listening to another reading. Every single day that we abuse things, and we don't realize that that goes into begging, that we feel that we have to beg and beg and beg and plead in order to get what it is that we want. And that begging and pleading, it goes into not seeing, and that not seeing, it goes into anxiety. Because now we don't see the bigger picture. We don't see how spirit is moving. We don't see that the Bible says that I will satisfy each and every last one of your desires with good things. We don't see that God said that I will place the lonely in families. We don't see what is coming because we're so busy in anxiety. We don't see that God said that if I take care of the lily of the valley, and if I take care of the birds in the air, what more will I do for you? And we don't see it because we're still in this state of begging. And when we are in a state of begging, we are in a state of not knowing our worth, and we don't understand our relationship to the Creator. We don't understand our relationship with the ancestors. We don't understand our relationships with the deities. And this is one of the reasons why we have to be very careful with emotions, because emotions have the ability to block our blessings. This could be something that can cause a delay. Even though the blessing is here, it can now cause delays. So we must be careful in this energy of anxiety. We have to get to a state that when we ask for the things that we want, that we are now in that expectation, that we are saying, God has never failed me and he never will. God will never abandon me. In the Bible, it asks the question, is my arm too short? And Of course, if you think that his arm is too short, you're going to go into anxiety because now you're being like Sarah, where you are saying, I got to help God out. Abraham, come here, sleep with my concubine, and let's create, Ishmael that was never supposed to be created. And, let's not wait on the blessing of Isaac. Let's not wait on the blessing of Isaac. Let's just, God needs some help. So let's just move things and help God out. And now you created something that was never supposed to be in your life. And now because you created this seed, even though the blessing is still coming, you now got to deal with the drama that you created. You now got to deal with the things that you manifest in desperation. You now got to deal with the things that you manifested in anxiety. And now both is growing together, the blessing and the thing that was never supposed to be. And this is the importance of not being in anxiety, because we feel that we have to rush God. We feel that we got to help God out. We feel that now that, since we don't understand and see God plan, that we got to make a plan. And this is where we get into a lot of trouble. We have to get to a point where we can go back in the past and we can say, when I was in trouble and I called on God, he rescued me and he helped me. No, yeah, it could have probably took all damn day. Because the saying is true. He may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. That first part is so true. He do not come when you want him. But at the end of the day, it gets done. And so we need to learn how to wait on divine timing. Is all too often we get into this anxiety and we feel that we gotta push God along, we gotta help him out, and all of this other stuff, and it creates nothing but a nightmare. And you don't want to create something that you got to live with for the rest of your life. And so the Nine of Swords here in the crossing energy is somebody in a lot of anxiety. But when you look at the clarifier, it's like, mama, why are we in anxiety? Why are we in all of this anxiety when the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups is right around the corner? If you cannot see, you need to ask yourself, why is it that you can't see? What is blocking your vision? Is it anxiety? Is it fear? Is it worry? Because we got to learn that when God speaks, to hold on to what was spoken and know that it will manifest in time. That is the point of the synchronicities, the dreams, the downloads, and everything else the Spirit is giving you. It's like, damn, it's gonna come, but let's be a little patient. And let's not get weary in our time of waiting that we feel that we have to now do something different than what was said, than what was spoken. We have in the crowning energy, we have the Ace of Cups, another powerful love card. And the clarifier is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is representing competition. The Ace of Cups is telling you that love is getting ready to come into your life. You are being blessed. The Ace is always a gift from the universe. It's saying that this gift of love is getting ready to come in, and this is somebody that's going to compete. This is somebody that's going to fight for your attention. This is someone that's going to compete for your attention. Now, even when we say, fight and compete for attention, let's not get delusional, bitches. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get delusional, because sometimes when we hear that people are going to fight and compete for our attention, sometimes we give them roadblocks and tests, and not realizing that even though this person is coming with a fire in order to get your attention, if you are giving roadblocks, you can extinguish that fire. I just want you to keep that in mind. You can extinguish a fire. And so if this person is coming in and trying to get your attention and trying to date, and you keep saying no, 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 don't think that the cards are saying that this is going to be a dumb nigga and he's just going to keep knocking at your door. That's one of the things that we need to realize, that what you speak, it matters. What you put out in the universe, it matters. People are going to believe the things that you say. If you come to this person and you say, you know what, I don't want a relationship, don't expect for this person to chase you down for the next 8 weeks begging you. Competing and begging is two completely different things, because once someone know that you have gotten them out of the race, they are going to get out of the race. This is saying competing, not begging. And so, please keep that in mind. If you tell somebody no, they're gonna accept that no and take that no, and they're gonna walk the fuck away. Let's keep that in mind, please. The crowning energy is saying that love is coming in, and this is someone that's going to compete, for your attention and for your love. This is going to be a competing energy when it comes in, that this person is going to come in strong. This person is going to come in very strong, very passionate, that, this is someone that's going to show you that, I want to be the one. It kind of this energy kind of remind me of the one of the Pop the Balloon episodes that I watched, where the dude was, so intrigued by the woman that he took his pen and was trying to pop the other dude's balloons. And it's like, okay, nigga, that is not how the game go. They are supposed to pop their own balloon, but he said in this moment, like, baby, I see you, this is the one I want. And he was like, I need to remove this competition so that you can only see me. I'm the only one with a balloon. And that is the energy that the Five of Wands is giving, that this is someone that is going to, try their best to separate themselves from everybody else. That this could be someone that, like I said, in the overall energy, this is a very rapid energy to me, that this is something that's going to move pretty fast in the beginning. And now, since I'm seeing the Five of Wands as well in the crowning energy, this is definitely going to move pretty fast. And this could move pretty fast in a way where this could be someone that will want to see you probably every day. Every day they're trying to take you out on a date. They're trying to spend the night. And this person is doing this because they are like, look, if I'm spending this much time with you, it's eliminating time that you're giving to somebody else. It's eliminating the possibility of now somebody else spending the night, of somebody else taking you out on dates. That this is someone that's going to try to move. They're really going to be moving because their mindset is to compete in the fight for this energy. And so that's exactly what this person is going to be doing, that they're trying to separate themselves from everybody else, where everybody else may call you and talk to you once or twice a week. This person is saying, I'm going to call and text you every day, where everybody else may say, hey, I'll go on a date, but then I might not go on another date into 3 weeks, giving me enough time to, date other people to see if you're really the one I want to settle down with. This person is saying, baby, I'm going to take you on a date on Monday. We're going to come back again on Tuesday. I'm going to see you again on Wednesday. This is someone that's going to come with a stronger energy to separate themselves from everyone else. And the overall energy, to me, again, it is saying that this is something that's going to be rapid for whoever this is. In the outcome position, we do have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is all about long-term view. It's seeing things in the future and not just staying in the present. The Seven of Pentacles is an investing energy. This is someone that is willing to invest and that is ready to invest. And you have the Seven of Cups as the clarifier, and the Seven of Cups, to me, this is more of daydreaming. This is more of thinking about you. That it is, this is someone that is, the Seven of Cups can come into an energy of what am I looking for? It's not obsession. Infatuation. That this can be coming in with a strong infatuation, where this is someone that is seeing you, could be seeing you in dreams and the whole nine yards, visioning you throughout the day. This is someone that's going to come with some pretty good energy. Overall, everything on the board is good, but the anxiety, the nine of swords, the nine of swords is the only thing that is messing this thing up. Everything else is good. The card at the bottom of the deck, hopefully this is you, it's the four of swords. It's a giving up energy. Hopefully you're giving up and retreating when it comes to this anxiety. Hopefully that is the thing that you're giving up, because coming into any connection with anxiety, number one, you can stop it from forming, and then going in with that anxiety, it can bring a lot of stuff. You have fantasies. Once again, you have another card that talks about daydreaming as well. And so, your overall energy, the hidden emotion, is the saying that, look, somebody is fantasizing about you. Baby, this is somebody that's about to see this as a dream come true. This is someone that's about to see this love as a dream come true. What is the hidden emotion for the crossing energy? Intuition. Someone is connected to their intuition. This could be telepathic communication, that you two could be communicating with each other in your dreams, in the spiritual realm, that you are being connected, sewn together, woven together. Intuition is going to be heightened, which means you're going to know, you're going to get an inner knowingness about this person, and this person could get an inner knowingness about you. What is the hidden emotion? Hidden emotion for the crowning energy is the thing we don't like, that we just talked about in the crossing energy, is we got time. You're waiting. This is gonna come in the right cycle. Give it some time. Is let's not rush it. In time, this is going to come. Time is not a bad thing. There's things that got to be set up in order for this thing to be successful. And so give it time. What is the hidden emotion for the what is the hidden emotion for the what is the hidden emotion for the outcome position? What is the hidden emotion for the outcome position? Hidden emotion from the outcome position, you have silence. This is someone that have no words to say, but silence to me in this is not being seen as a bad thing, especially with this is the one that's talking about infatuation. This is someone that could just be in a trance of I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe that I was able to get with you. Especially with silence representing frozen, this could be someone that could possibly see you as someone that is out of their league, where it's like, I can't believe that you were interested in me. I can't believe that out of all people, that we are getting together. And you have the card at the bottom of the deck, you have only you. And so, this is a very powerful love reading. Very powerful love reading. This is definitely a really good love reading. You have everything you need on the board. You have the Two of Cups, you have the Lovers, you have the Nine of Cups, you have the Ten of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. All strong love cards. You have the Five of Wands, competition. You have the Seven of Pentacles, and even the Seven of Cups, representing that infatuation. All of the hidden emotions. You have, fantasizing, you have intuition, you have time is at play here, and you have silence, that this person is going to be in awe that, I can't believe that this is happening. This is a beautiful love reading. This is a beautiful love reading. Whoever it's for, congratulations. You know, this is going to end up being a good love. What we do with it is going to depend on us. You know what I'm saying? What we do with it is going to depend on us. But this is good. I don't think that we need to go any further with the oracle cards. I mean, this is clear as day. You know, this is not indicating someone from the past. This could be a new person because this is nothing indicating the past. And so, very beautiful reading, powerful love reading. I mean, I don't want to go deeper. I mean, it's clear as day. The Two of Cups and the Lovers. This is going to be a fast, moving relationship. I'm telling you, it's like meeting in, I don't know, just saying it. Meeting in January, getting engaged in March, getting married getting married in December. That's the energy that I pick up from this. With the overall energy, this is someone that is, ugh, no, this is the part I don't like. This is someone that is in their head, in their mind. This could be a wind sign. Wind signs are known for being stuck in their head. And that is what the Nine of Swords is. Wind signs are known for being stuck in their head and they make a mountain out of a molehill. And that is the Nine of Swords energy where it's just like, baby, calm down and relax. It's going to happen. What we put out in the universe, let's trust and believe that it's going to come to us. If you don't believe it, then shut the fuck up and stop praying and stop manifesting. Why the fuck would you manifest and pray if you're not going to believe what the fuck you're saying? That is insanity. That is insanity. That is crazy, bitch. It's like what is the purpose of manifesting if you were saying, "Oh, I know love is not gonna come. Oh, I know I'm not gonna find no good nigga. Oh, I know all these niggas are gay. Oh, I know all these niggas is this." Then what the fuck is the point of manifesting? There's no purpose of manifesting if you're going to come in with negative energy after that you can wipe away everything that you just put hard work in. We got to learn how to stop getting into these modes where it's like, as soon as we get done, the Bible says that it's somebody that looks in the mirror, and as soon as they leave the mirror, they forget their reflection. And it's like in the state of manifesting, we are in the energy, we are in our power, we are in our confidence. I am worthy. I know I deserve love. I know love is coming to me. But then it's like the moment that the candle is done, the moment that the candle is extinguished, the moment that we're done with the work, now all of a sudden, oh, but this love really gonna come. Niggas has always been shit. This and that. And it's like, do you not realize that you have now done a ritual that you added hot and cold? And the worst thing that you can be is lukewarm because you never know how it's going to manifest now. We need to either be all the way in, and this is what we're going to believe, and this is what we're going to stand on, or we need to be all the way the fuck out. It's either or. We're going to be in it and we're going to believe it so that we can see the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups, or we need to be all the way the fuck out. Shut the fuck up and then just let life blow whatever in your life that it chooses to blow. If it's some good, it's some good. If it's some bad, it's some bad. But let's not be both. That we are calling things in, but then at the end of the day, we're blowing it out with negative energy. The Nine of Swords is messing up this reading. Everything else is beautiful. That's all I'm saying. The Nine of Swords is messing up this energy. Bitch, get out of anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Get out of your head. Stop overdoing it. Because the Nine of Swords is someone that is is a defeated energy. The Nine of Swords is someone that you could be going to bed every single day. Oh Lord, I'm lonely again. I'm depressed again. You still didn't bless me with nobody. I guess I'm just gonna go to bed alone. That is the Nine of Swords energy where it's just like, ugh, why are you messing up this beautiful reading? But everything else is beautiful. Just let's get out of anxiety. It's either we're gonna believe it or we're not. You know, if the deity, especially if you're doing Ifa divination, come on. If you have done the cowrie shells and the coconut shells, and then you did Igun, spirit guide and ancestor divination, which is tarot cards, and if everything is telling you that something is getting ready to come in, then why are you still questioning it? Why are you still on the fence? Why are you still in anxiety? You may not have it today, but if you have confirmation after confirmation after confirmation that is coming in, just wait for it to come in. That's the time card in the crowning energy. Just wait for it to come in. In time, this thing is about to come. Ooh, that's it. I'm sorry, y'all. That Nine of Swords, it threw me off. Get out of the anxiety, please. Everything else in this reading is very beautiful. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. I think this is the last day to sign up for Ebo because we're going in. Well, technically it'll be tomorrow because tomorrow we're going into the we'll be transitioning into the new year, which I've already started the ceremony and everything, but it's every day. Things are being added and stuff like that. But the main parts of Ebo is not going to be done until it's gonna. I'm gonna set it up perfectly of crossing into the new year. You know, but all the offerings and stuff is already going to be out. It's already out. Candles and everything is lit. So that everything can transition perfectly into the new year. Um, let's bring in blessings. Let's let go of this anxiety. And this is the new year, y'all. You know, um, let's go into the new year with a different mindset. One of the things that I did in order to truly heal and to let go of the past, it was a scripture in the Bible. I forgot where it came from. I know it's New Testament, and I know that it was Paul. Um, and it says that or now paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact scripture, where he said that basically, I will only think of things that are pure, that is righteous, that is justice, that is that is grace. And again, paraphrasing because I don't remember the things that he said. It was like 7 or 9 things that he said specifically. And when I read it, spirit just spoke to me. And especially with me being a Gemini, and that's why I'm really hard on my wind signs, because I know how we are. And not necessarily saying that this is a wind sign, but the Nine of Swords, we own that energy. So whether you're a Gemini or whether you're activating that Gemini energy right now, this is our energy of being stuck in our mind. And so when I, read that, scripture, that, it was saying that I would think of these things that are pure, that are upright, that is, that is holy, that is worthy, that is when I went on a fast. I went on a mental fast, and I told myself, I am only going to speak and think about things that are righteous, things that are just, things that are pure, just like that scripture. And so every time when something would come in my head about the past, I'm like, nope, nope, I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to let it ruin my day. And it was work in the beginning. until it got easy. And, I told myself, nope, nope, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to release anything out of my mouth unless it's pure, unless it's worthy, unless it's righteous, unless it's holy. And so I was controlling my mind and I was controlling the things that I put in the universe. And eventually it broke. It was one day I just felt a complete burden just completely left off of me. All of this weight that I was carrying, I felt lighter. It seemed like my vision got better, and that is the things that sometimes you have to do where it's like, I refuse. I'm not going to allow this to consume me, and I'm not going to allow this to take me out. Because we can go into a lot of health issues being stuck in our mind, keep replaying the same thing over and over and over. We can go into a lot of mental illness. The next thing you know, you keep replaying this thing over and over. Now you're schizophrenic. Now you're bipolar. Now you're all these things because you have allowed this to consume you for years. And now, now it gets to the point that you can't even disconnect from it because it's merging with everything. That now this is your reality. You have taken the past and you have merged it so much that it becomes your reality. And so whew, let's get to the point that we control our mind. We control more than what we think. And we need to say that if it's not holy, if it's not righteous, if it's not whatever it is, that we're not going to speak about it. We're not going to let it just sit in our mind all day long. It's time to let this shit go. All right, y'all. Love you. Bye.